You probably can't imagine. Losing a brother, getting chills in my body right now because all you got is memories. Went to college, take care of his family, take care of his mom, traveled, laughed, had a fiance, living. You just cut somebody's life short. And my heart is warm because you don't kill one person. You don't kill one person. You kill somebody's brother, you kill somebody's uncle, you kill somebody's nephew, you kill somebody's son, you kill somebody's grandson. You killed a lot of people and you left a lot of pain. But nobody getting caught, no consequences. Just gone. How? And you left with why? Unanswered question. How do somebody just take somebody's life? And for me, everybody want me to believe God seen it, God to take care of it, and that's all I got to believe. That's it. If I didn't believe that, I don't know where I would be. I just don't know. I don't know. If I didn't believe in God right now, I don't know how I could sustain all of this. It's a lot. This is August the 29th, 2011. And it's 6 years later. I can tell you every piece of garment I had on. I can tell you how it sounded in my ear. I can tell you how I got to the hospital. I can describe the face I seen. It just come back. Because now that you mention it and can say it, it don't go away.
On November 3rd, 2017, I went to the Presbyterian Church in Chestnut Hill to see a show of portraits of victims of gun violence. But before I went into the church's gallery, my breath was taken away by the display outside.
Hi, I'm Austin Shelley. I'm Associate Minister for Christian Education at the Presbyterian Church of Chestnut Hill. So the toughest ones of these for me are the shirts in the very front that are there for 3- and 4-year-olds who were killed by gun violence in Philadelphia. It was tough for me because my 4-year-old was here with us as we were installing the t-shirts on the lawn, and she pulled up the shirt that was for the 4-year-old and she said, "Oh look, Mom, 4 years old just like me." And and then I promptly lost it on the lawn as we tried to explain to her that these shirts are here for a very sobering reason. So
I'm Bob Fless. I'm a member of Heeding God's Call to End Gun Violence. Grassroots organization, multi-faith. The Memorial to the Lost, as our t-shirt project is called, has been in existence for 3 or 4 years now. It started here in Philadelphia, and the display that's on the lawn of this church represents just Philadelphia victims of gun homicide in 2016. There's 244 shirts. Each shirt represents a life that's lost, but also a family that's ripped apart, friends, neighborhoods, classmates that go through the tremendous amount of pain. So join us, support us, help us, work with us to try to make a difference in the world.
Artist Laura Madeline invited me to a show that she co-curated with Rebecca Thornburg. Artists were paired up with family members of shooting victims to commemorate the lives of their loved ones.
The artists who answered the call to participate in this project have, without exception, created with love, empathy, enthusiasm, and an unwavering sense of purpose. Yes. We were all profoundly affected by the experience. I believe the artists and families have made an important contribution. We hope that you can reflect on these lives and get to know these souls through the passionate works displayed here. It is a relatively small, but we hope meaningful memorial to those people who had every right to live their lives and enjoy the world we all live in. We hope that families and friends will be surprised by joyful memories. Thank you.
My name's Monique Irvis, and this is my son, Eric Woods.
I'm Karen Ruggles, and I painted Eric. I met Monique, the mom, and we had some nice conversations about how Eric was as a baby and his life until it was cut short through gun violence.
What was it like emotionally painting someone you know isn't there anymore?
It was very difficult for me because he was just so young, so tragic, but unfortunately so common these days. And that's one of the reasons I want to be involved in this project, because it should end.
Eric passed away August 1st, 2007, to the hands of someone mistaken identity. Eric was only 19, and he was just a vibrant kid. Everybody loved him. His personality was very sweet. And that day, I was at work, and I got off, and we had pizza, and he went to the basketball game and never came back home. That was the worst night of my life. Eric is missed by so many people. I never knew he had that many friends. He worked, graduated from high school, he had a job, so he was doing good. His case is still unsolved. That I have a hard time dealing with. I just miss my son a lot.
Hello, I'm Khalil Morris. I'm here today to view the portraits of both my father and my uncle. My uncle Eric Woods and my father Aaron Morris are here today, and I love the pictures. They're really beautiful.
My name is Corinne Holloway, and I did the portrait of Aaron Morris in watercolor and gold gouache on canvas. It was a really interesting piece to do. He died at 19, and I got to meet his son tonight. Sorry, kind of emotional. But it was great to celebrate his life.
He shot at my dad by accident, and it went through his back into his heart, and then he tried to drive away, but the car crashed.
Have you ever had any problems with people with guns yourself?
Yes. When I was about 7, I was robbed in a Chinese store at gunpoint. I only had $1, so he took my $1, then he ran. We went to the police station, but he wore a mask, and they never found him.
Was that pretty scary for you as a kid?
It was really scary, especially knowing this was not even a full year after my uncle passed away from being shot. It was scary to know that it was in my own neighborhood and it's somewhere right down the street from my house. So if it can happen there, it can happen on my block, right where I live. It was really scary.
How do you cope with this?
Despite all the things that I've been through throughout my life, so many people dying from violence, it just made me strive harder. It makes me do more in school, get more active, think more about my future, because I know I don't want to be here forever and I don't want to raise my kids in this type of environment. That's why I'm a straight A student. I go to Constitution High School on 7th and Market. Get my education. I know what I want in life, so overall it just made me want to be a better person.
I am Mary Adelman. I was selected to do a portrait of Daryl Singleton, who was murdered a year ago. And I got to meet his mother, and she was lovely, and she came and posed for me, and the father came and posed for me, because I was not sure how to draw from a photograph. You need to have a living, breathing human being. It's like, how am I going to draw someone who's not here? So I drew the parents, and then I kept making different pictures of Daryl, and I was not satisfied. And then I got this great idea of drawing Daryl on acetate and then putting it over the drawing of the mother and the father. It's really about how a murder affects everybody and not just the fact that one person is gone.
My name is Constance Brady. I was put in touch with Cheryl Pedro, who is Mario Pedro's mother. Cheryl welcomed me very warmly into her home.
My son was murdered February the 23rd, 2015. Mario was an outgoing, good person to everyone. He left behind 2 children. One was born the day after we buried them on February the 27th. He was my middle son. He loved sports, reading, going out, enjoying people. Mario was a very loving and caring person. 34 years old when he passed away. My artist is a very good artist. I love the way she done the photo and how she memorized everything in my living room and in my house. This is very, very beautiful.
I'm used to interviewing people in their home as a psychotherapist. I really got to get a feeling for her and her family. In experiencing the space around us, I noticed that she had so many small shrines about the house, altars to her family, and they were beautiful. So I noticed her mantle. That's how I started the first piece. Her mantle was beautiful. She had a commemoration to her mother, and I could see so much pride in the diplomas that the family had earned. So I set out to paint for 34 minutes for 34 days in honor of Mario, who died when he was 34. My art teacher in high school, who had fought in Vietnam and was a social justice advocate, he told me in heartbreak, you never get over anything, you just learn to deal with it. And I think that acknowledges the stage of depression and acceptance. It's how we honor people in our everyday lives. How does Cheryl acknowledge Mario in her everyday life on her mantle when she looks at when she is cooking, because there's images on the refrigerator. It's acknowledging them in any moment that you choose.
My name is Helene Halstutch. I was paired up with the Say families. I met them at the beginning of the summer. It was a very profound and moving experience to find out about their son, Jarrell Christopher Say, who died in 2011. A beautiful family. I was asked to do something more than just a portrait. Joel Sr. told me that through this experience I was going to have a profound connection with their son, that Jarrell's spirit was everywhere, that I would feel it and sense it. And I tried very hard through the photographs to pick some images that would show this young man's divine spirit, his beautiful sense of humor, his love of life, his love of his family, the things that he loved to do, and it seems from tonight that they are thrilled with it. I think the most emotional thing was coming tonight. I wanted to make a very joyous painting for them. This family has really made a wonderful foundation called the Love and Laughter Foundation in his memory. And they take children out to different outings. They support children and families, all sorts of safety issues, not just concerning guns, but personal safety, safety in the home. And they buy school bags for children at the beginning of school term. It seems like it's endless what they're doing. So I'm kind of part of their lives now through doing this painting. And I think I got his spirit, and they said I did. So that's made me very, very pleased.
My name is Ann Hartzell. The portrait is of Carrie Johnson, who was killed as a case of mistaken identity. The second death of young men in the family. Very sad. I painted it on wood as a down-to-earth kind of technique. It's unfinished, just as his life was. Movita Johnson runs the Charles Foundation that helps children with emotional needs in the city. Movita is the aunt of Carrie Johnson. Her son was also killed 2 years prior to Carrie.
Our main goal is to get the illegal guns off the streets. It's an interfaith movement. We're not an organization. We are a movement, and we have Gibbs Lamont and Bob Fless here, and Dave Brown was here, and these are members of Heeding God's Call. We work tirelessly to try and get the guns off the streets. For the past 6 years, we have been out in the community, on the corners, in North Philly and West Philly and South Philly and wherever homicide occurs, to bring awareness to people. You see it and you say, oh, I feel bad for that family, but I'm here to tell you that if you do not get involved, it's going to be your family next. None of us are safe from the gun violence that's occurring in our communities. And the one way that we can stop it is to stop illegal straw purchases.
I call it heaven because his family believes that that's where he exists now. Raymond's soul is somewhere in another dimension. My name is Mikel Elam. I was a victim of violence a few years ago. Lisa Espinoza reached out to me. My portrait is her son, her 26-year-old son, Raymond Pantoja. Raymond was shot and killed while jumping in front of another friend to protect him.
My name is Joan Meyerson-Schrager. My piece is of a student. He had graduated from high school who had come back to class to talk to me about his future plans. We had a great conversation, and I went on to the ladies' room. He went back into the classroom, and when I came into the classroom, I saw him lying on the floor, weeping his heart out. It was a text message he had just received from his mom that one of his dear friends had been shot. I'll never forget it as long as I live. I don't know how anybody can go on after such a terrible thing.
Hi, I'm B. Douglas Smith. I'm a modern artist based out of Philadelphia and an Army veteran. I always believed that art is love in action. And this was an experience where I could pay memorial to a hero, someone who sacrificed their life too early. Michael John Miller is a special agent with the FBI. He was born in 1953, and he was murdered along with his partner. He knew what his call was, and it was to end gun violence, and that is why he joined the gang gun task force in Baltimore, only to be a victim of exactly what his principals told him it was his responsibility to take care of.
I'm Kevin, here for my cousin Marquise. Very fine gentleman, great young man, fun to be around, a very loving guy. He has a very good family, he has 2 daughters. Definitely sad like he can't be around to see his daughters grow up.
What do you think about your cousin?
I love him very much, but I think his life was taken away too short. I don't know whoever do this.
What did he like to do?
Oh, fun guy. He loved to socialize, a very social guy. Everywhere he went, everybody enjoyed his presence, that type of guy. He's a hard-working guy.
Oh, what was his job?
He's a mechanic.
Did he ever fix your car for you?
Me, no. A little bit older, like it's nice and everything, but...
This is the brother who always hangs around with him. I'm not usually always around him all the time.
So did it make you want to become a car mechanic, young lady?
No. He was very extremely funny. You tell a joke, he would make it into something else.
So you miss him?
Yes.
I'm Anna Kosher.
And I did a painting of Jaleel. He was killed a couple of years ago. He was a father and he was working hard to get his college degree. He had graduated early from high school because he had worked so hard. He was shot and killed, and his mother doesn't know who did it or why. I'm a mother of 3, and so I could empathize with the pain of what she was dealing with. So then I went back to my studio and I spent time looking at pictures of him as a child and as a man. Just spent some time meditating on his life and what it meant. And included in the painting that I did some words that his mother wrote to me. I said, "What would you want to say to him?" And so she wrote a message and I included that.
My baby, I miss you more than words could ever explain. My heart aches for you every day. Just the thought of all that you were robbed of, all your dreams, loved by your children, mom, and brother.
He lived his life like it was golden.
Well, hi, I'm his younger sister, Alina, and one thing I can say about Steven is that he don't play when it comes to his little sister or any of his sisters. He was so big on me on education. I had got a partial scholarship to LaSalle University. While I was walking on campus, going to school, he would always say, I can hear him like, do your best, do your best. And I graduated last year from that. And now I'm going for my master's at Walden University. And I still constantly hear him, do your best, do your best. Like my older sister said, he was loving, he cared for everybody in the family.
I'm Tracy Alwyn, and I'm Almir Alwyn's aunt.
My nephew Almir Alwyn died September 18th of 2016. He was 31, died way too young, never married, no children, but the life of the party. Always wanted to be a boss, thought he was my boss and everyone else's boss. Loved fine dining.
What was his favorite?
Loved chicken parm. Loved fettuccine Alfredo, seafood. He loved everything. And he loved kids. My granddaughter talks about him as if he's still there with us. He always come through the door. What you got? What you cook? What you cook? You got any oxtails? And he come over and you can hear him sucking the bones from upstairs to downstairs. I miss all that, looking in the refrigerator for your stuff and it's gone because he stopped by and you didn't know he was coming. You miss his laugh and you miss him shoveling me out when it snowed and putting the trash out and him just calling us to make sure I was okay. He lit up the room when he came in. We miss him lighting up the house. You don't know what you don't have until you don't have it anymore. There's been a dark cloud over our family, and I'm trying to push myself out of the darkness into the light because it happens every day, and it's not just my family, it's a whole lot of families. And it's not just my Almir, it's a whole lot of Almirs. And hopefully we keep bringing awareness to people. Somewhere it has to stop.
So I want to ask you to recommit to this fight to end gun violence. And I do want to share that in terms of legislation in Pennsylvania, or really any place else, there's a guiding principle that I hope you will remember. Agitation precedes legislation. Agitation precedes legislation. And that is why, with the efforts of you who are here to join with those who are advocates to end gun violence, recognizing that this is a marathon that we can win. That's why I'm extremely hopeful. Even with the current president, I am extremely hopeful. I am, because this is a long-term journey that will obviously far exceed the lifetime of the president, and at least his power. And so I know, I have no doubt, no doubt, that we will win. None. Thank you.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in,